A service level objective, or SLO, is a specific performance goal that a service provider must meet as part of their service level agreement, or SLA, with their clients. Catchpoint's SLO feature enables you to measure and track whether your services, or services provided by your vendors, are meeting defined SLOs. In this video, we'll set up a new objective to track the performance of an API. Let's say this is my company's API, and our SLA with our clients states that the API will be available, that is, accepting connections and responding to requests, 99% of the time. To begin with, we need to have an active Catchpoint test monitoring that API. We want it to use multiple nodes and to run frequently, so that we can get a precise measure of API downtime for our SLO. I have a test all ready to go for this example. So to set up the SLO, we'll first click New Objective. We'll input a name for this objective, and we do have the option to enter a description as well. Now let's talk through SLO configuration settings. An objective consists of three main components: a metric, a violation condition, and a goal. The metric is the performance characteristic we are tracking, which may be either availability or test time. You would use availability if your SLO simply measures whether the service is up and available, and you would use test time if you need to measure the overall speed of the service. For our scenario, we are measuring API availability, so I'll select that. The violation condition defines how many nodes must experience a failure within a specific time frame in order to consider the API to be unavailable and to start counting time against the objective. This is important because a single node failing to connect to the API could be due to issues with that node or the network. Requiring more than one node to experience a failure helps ensure that we really are detecting an issue with the API itself. I'm going to say that we need at least two nodes to fail within 10 minutes in order to trigger the violation condition. Finally, the goal is the percentage of the time that test results must not be in the violation condition. If test performance falls below the goal for a given time frame, then an SLO violation will be indicated. We said that our SLA commits us to at least 99% uptime, so I'll set this as greater than or equal to 99%. Now we just need to assign this SLO to our test, and it will begin tracking the test's performance against this objective. So after some time has passed, we can come back to the SLO screen to see how the test is performing relative to the objective we configured. As you can see, we can view weekly, monthly, and quarterly results. Any item displayed in green is on track to meet the SLO for that time period, and anything displayed in red is on track to fail. The budget spent indicates how much downtime or slow test performance has occurred relative to our configured limit. In our case, we configured the objective to require at least 99% uptime. If we consider the weekly time period, this means that our downtime budget is 1% of the entire week, which breaks down to just about 100 minutes. Suppose our test has already had 150 minutes of downtime this week. That would mean we've consumed the weekly budget, and the test will certainly miss the objective for the week. If our test has had 50 minutes of downtime, and we're only on the second day of the week, then we'd be on track to miss the objective, although we could still meet it if the test experiences no further downtime for the remainder of the week. So the budget spent column basically helps you understand how you are tracking relative to your goal. If we click View Details for the objective, we have the same information broken down in more detail. If our blue line is above the red line, then we're on track to meet the objective for the week, assuming similar performance. If our blue line is below the red line, then we're on track to fail. So that summarizes how you can track your system's performance against an SLO. I hope you found this video helpful. Have a great day.